how are you doing?
I mean, I'm telling you, there's some legit looking at these 3 words on your shirt. Just saying, my mom would say that I started to sing before I could talk.
Right.
Even with a babble. Even my crying, all my aunts, my uncles would say, like, I would be crying and screaming in key. And it's weird because I came out of such a musical family. People feel that I be lying, but it's not just me. I'm not even the best singer in my entire family. And of course, I'm talking about the Lee Cox.
Was that pressure for you?
Like, we don't want to know if you're a boy or girl. We want to know if you're a soprano, alto, or tenor, or bass. No, learning how to put myself first. The hardest is putting myself before my children or my family. And like I said, it's been my superpower. It's like, you could outdress me, you could, whatever, but you sing me though. Like, knowing what it is that you have to sing, the messaging within the song, and then executing each note.
Yeah.
And it just land like perfectly, and people also receive it in that way. It is the best feeling in the world. Just let me sing and rate that, and let that be what is judged.
Yes.
More so than this, how am I presenting myself, and like it's just so superficial for me because I'm a singer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So now I'm studying wardrobe before my set list. No, and then if I wear that, I can't do that. And if I put on heels, then this is not, maybe I should wear sneakers. And instead of focusing on my musical arrangement and how I can transition from one song to the next. So it stifles me. I was auditioning. I thought it was going to be next Rihanna.
Right.
Some would be as frank as, your skin is too dark. After a while, it gets to you. All that was said to me was true. I believed it. My show was like, all right, I want to see you in the studio. I got some vocals. I want you putting on some background vocals. And then that one song became like 20-something songs. Met other artists, like when Kes, Naila, Patrice, and them were like green. And you develop a love for soca. I learned so much more from him off stage than on stage. And he literally told me, you need to conquer home. And then a year after that, Slam happened.
Why the decision to walk away? My name is Matthew Future, and I'm the creator and host of Gems from Friends podcast. If you're new here, welcome to season 5, and make sure you check out the past seasons. If you're returning, thank you so much for your support. However, if you're not subscribed yet, please do so and click on the notification bell. It does a lot for this channel and for the other content creators in Barbados. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy this episode. The person in front of me today is someone who's no stranger to the spotlight on stage, on the airways, and in the hearts of many across Barbados and beyond. She's a songwriter, a mother, a radio host, and just an all-round force of nature. From performing with legends like Patti LaBelle to holding it down on Slam FM, her voice has moved through sound systems, speakers, and souls. She recently made a bold decision to step away from radio, and today we are talking about why and what's next, and how she's balancing artistry, motherhood, and personal growth in real time. Today, I want to welcome my friend, the orange hair songbird, Nikita. Welcome.
Hey.
You're finally here, finally.
I'm finally here.
Yeah. So I like to always start with like the first memory of the people that I know that come on. I don't know if you remember, but you were in a group. And we did a little bit of management there with the group, me, when you guys were performing in Mott Brace and St. Lawrence Gap for a little bit. That's where it started. I can't remember the year though.
I love that that's where you start, because I can vividly remember you in Champagne on the stage, even with Kim. Back then, we weren't even that close back then. And I can remember Kim had signature sharp pants and heels that she used to rock all the time. And you were the one, like, I don't know if you was the promoter, the DJ, the what, I don't know what it was, but I just remember you being somebody like from back then, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
And it's
Like,
just,
I was somebody.
I don't know how else to put it. Like I heard it before I said it
We're all
and
somebody.
I'm like, you know what I mean? But you know,
You mean somebody that, or he in
was
charge of
organizing
something,
something,
yeah,
you know, like, and pretty much, you know what,
You know, I can't
what you've
help
been
that.
doing.
Like, I could
know.
go somewhere and I have nothing to do with it, but I just tall and I stick out. So people just be like, well, he
He gotta be
managing
doing something.
He's like the overseer.
Yeah, but we do go way back.
I want to give people the year though. It was
I wish I could give you too.
that was 2007.
Well, before that group, there was IOP that I used to sing with Shane Forster. So like Melvin, Julian, and then was a new band back then, Kirk, on keys, and even working with Lori and them men from way back. And that's when it was at Paul Marine. So I was like 18. So that's like a 2004, 2005 kind of thing. And that was when I professionally started my music career. Like when I could get a little 150 a week, you know what I mean? Performing in clubs.
I feel old though. I feel, now, when you start to speak then kind of
telling you.
years, do you know that there's some people that can be watching this that born in 2000?
I do.
Make it make sense.
I know. Because then you see these things and they're like, what's old to you? Anybody before 2000? I'm like, dog, my 80s, baby. What you mean? But yeah, we all.
I vintage.
Yeah, vintage.
I vintage.
Experienced, you know, seasoned. Anything like that. Not all.
We're classics.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So I want to go to how did you know that singing was your path? I want to go back there.
But then we go even further. We go hit the 80s for sure.
I know that because you were singing from 4, I heard.
Yeah.
You remember that?
My mom would say that I started to sing before I could talk.
Right.
Even with a babble. You know, it was always something that sounded melodic.
Right.
For her. Even my crying, all my aunts, my uncles would say like I would be crying and screaming in key. And it's weird. It's weird, but I didn't have a choice. So I can't even say that I necessarily at that age chose my path because I came out of such a musical family. People feel that I be lying, but it's not just me. I'm not even the best singer in my entire family. And of course, I'm talking about the Lee Cox because both my grandparents were choir masters.
Yeah.
They had 11 children, so they had their own mini choir. All the children singing, and then all their children started singing, and now even my boys started singing. So it's like everybody
just
in this family. Like we don't want to know if you're a boy or girl. We want to know if you're a soprano, alto, or tenor, or bass. You know, like literally.
Yeah.
And the only reason I ended up on stage at 3 years old was at my preschool graduation. I was not graduating, but my 2 older cousins were graduating, and there was one part in the song.
3 years old?
There was one line in the song that I was singing, you know.
Right.
And my grandmother was not having that, and I could only go to the graduation if I graduated. So she graduated me early.
Okay.
I went to primary school at 3 because my grandmother wanted me to sing this one line in this one song on stage with my cousins. And from then it was just at church all the time, at school, in NIFCA. I was in NIFCA every year in primary school and the first like 3-4 years of secondary school every year. Then my parents were in Ellerslie Folk Chorale, and they had a children's program.
Right.
So the culture of Barbados too, singing Cut Your Sugar Cane, Bun Me Hat, and them kind of songs, and seeing Mother Sally's and dancing with Pinehurst Creative Workshop and being around the drums and just seeing them. And then you have an aunt that's Carmen Leacock and an uncle that's James Leacock. And
was that pressure for you?
Yeah, I feel that pressure even to this day. Because their legacy is strong, it's huge. She was the first lady of song. She was my biggest and truest inspiration when I really think about it professionally as somebody from Barbados doing this thing. Because she wasn't doing soca. She did spooge, but she was singing Dionne Warwick songs. She was singing Whitney Houston and Roberta Flack and those kind of big throat, big voices, you know, and seeing her doing shows at Island Inn and her own shows at Globe. Being in backstage as a little girl and just seeing costume changes and makeup and hair and lights and microphone, and she's just twirling and dancing, and that really lit the fire for me at that age where I was like, I so want to do this. This looks amazing. She did my vocal training, and it was rough to all because she's the realest that you'd ever get. And she telling me, you know, if you want to do this, you got to really do it. It's more than just a job or a career. It has to be your passion. You have to live, breathe, sleep it.
Right.
And yeah, so I'm happy that I had that early start. And I'm happy that I had the parents, or I have the parents that I do, that support every single thing. When I said, Mommy, I know I got this associate degree in tourism and travel. And as much as I love that aspect of me, or to me, I can't let go of that dream of just being this amazing singer.
Right.
Like, that's my thing. That's my superpower.
There was one thing I wanted to do before we tap into the musical side of you. I want to ask you, how are you doing?
I mean, I'm telling you this, I'm legit looking at the 3 words on your shirt, just saying, I am okay. Just breathe. No matter what's going on, you are okay. A lot is happening, man. A lot has happened within the last 2 decades of my life, not even just music. So much has changed. And in the last decade, I find I have made so many sacrifices. I'm that type of person. I'm a Virgo, so I emote heavily.
Right.
And I'm also that person that say, if everybody around me is okay, then I'm okay.
Right.
I'm now learning how to put myself first. The hardest is putting myself before my children or my family. That's something that I never even thought should happen, you know, because they're dependent on me. They didn't ask to be here.
Yeah. You're also like an empath too, so you feel what others are feeling.
It is crazy, sometimes too much. And I'm learning how to process that, you know, the correct way.
Right. Okay.
Right now, in this moment, I'm good because I had a little run this morning, so I was able to run out. That's my balance, really. I got to get it out, and I prefer to get it out in a physical fitness way. Thank God I've found running. Really, I don't even know where that came from because I was never an athlete like that. But the benefits to me is just being able to channel and truly think things through while I'm running, rather than sitting in one position and everything's like, I'm really able to just think it out thoroughly.
I could relate to it. I find like when I go exercising or running, even though I don't like it that much, or just walking, I can think better. I think something happens with you, emotions flowing with motion versus just being static. When it's static, it feels like it's just boiling up and it's this tension that builds up. But as you move while you're having those thoughts, you kind of work through it a little easier. So I think I kind of understand it.
No, it's the best thing that has happened to me. And that's only in the last 3 years or so that I really started running.
Okay, but we can get in a little bit more about that. I want to know, like, when people ask you, what do you do? What do you say?
I know I'm a singer first and always.
Right.
Because Nikita Sings, literally. That's what I do.
Isn't the name,
I wake up singing, I go to sleep humming something. I'm in the shower. There's definitely a song that's going to be sung. I don't know which one, but something can happen. Even when I was on radio, I would be singing every single song that get played. If I'm out, if I'm anywhere. And I can't even really say why it happens that way. I just know it's something I enjoy. And like I said, it's been my superpower. It's like, you could outdress me, you could, whatever, but you sing me though. Like it's just been that way for me. It is just within me to just sing.
Right.
Everywhere.
I got you. What that song, which song it was that you would have sang when that moment say, yeah, this is real?
Wow. There's so many, but
the first one,
anything Whitney Houston. There was this time I sang at primary school, I sang One Moment in Time.
I could hear that. I could see that.
Everybody, I had to be about 6 or 7. I don't even understand it because my son is 5 now, and I don't even know if I would give him that pressure of singing like a song like that. But I remember choosing songs even at that age of, Nikita, we want you to sing at, assembly today. Do you know what song you want to sing? What's your favorite song? And I'm here with Whitney Houston, One Moment in Time. And I'm like, what? But I just remember how it's something that I don't think singers could explain. That feeling of knowing what it is that you have to sing, the messaging within the song, and then executing each note.
Yeah.
And it just land like perfectly, and people also receive it in that way. It is the best feeling in the world.
Right. So when you saw that it was receptive, you realize, well, yeah, this is real for me.
I like this feeling right here. This gotta be it.
You have this way of blending like R&B and pop and like soca and everything. Was that like planned, or is this organic?
I can't help but sing, and like all the producers, even other artists would come to me and be like, man, you don't want to oversing, you don't want to do too much, you still gotta make it vibey and shorten the notes. And I'm like, don't tell me I put a try, and then I'm gonna sing, guys, because even if I don't do it in studio, I'm gonna do it on stage.
Right.
Right. So I just think that's just my foundation. My foundation is R&B. My foundation is gospel.
Isn't it weird that mainstream now pushes less singing? Like, the less you sing, the better the song is. Because, as you say, they want vibey, they want catchy. So they want all that long notes.
Because the industry switched for me, to be very honest.
Yeah.
I grew up thinking that talent, or the quality of it, was 90% of it. You don't give the producers or the engineers too much work to doctor it, to fix it, and auto-tune, and all these safety nets.
Yeah.
And no, it's the a full truth, like it's the opposite. Because they could fix that, and then there's everything else, the social media and the influence and the this, and so that's the hardest thing for me, if I'm being very honest, because I move kind of in that zone sometimes still, where I don't feel like I have to do all of that. Just let me sing and rate that, and let that be what is judged.
Yes.
More so than this, how am I presenting myself? And like, it's just so superficial for me, because I'm a singer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day, who cares what Etta James or any of those singers look like? But no, because everything is so visual and accessible. Like, we want to know who's in your life, what you're doing in your life, what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Like.
Do you feel restricted in your creative process and your expression because of that?
Only because, and only because I feel like everything is judged. Every aspect of it is judged. So I have to, me as somebody that could be an overthinker, I get in my head and I'm wondering, okay, no, I'm not even studying what my set list is. No, I'm studying wardrobe before my set list. No, and then if I wear that, I can't do that. And if I put on heels, then this is not, maybe I should wear sneakers. And instead of focusing on my musical arrangement and how I can transition from one song to the next. So it stifles me sometimes, for sure.
Okay. I still think that there's room for that. And especially if you have a team.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch Faith episode, and she was
I
talking
most
about,
definitely did.
delegating these things, these roles for other people, so you can just hyper focus on singing.
And I heard the part too where she said that it was difficult too because you will micromanage and feel like nobody can do better than you, or because nobody wants it more than you. You know, so, and I am not that open to everybody. And I feel like I move like Beyonce sometimes in that, you know, like I will share what I want you to see.
Right.
And only then. I don't want to feel pressured to
because it's about music.
Right. I don't want to feel like, okay, I'm supposed to be posting into my stories every day. I'm supposed to be posting on, I mean, granted, that element plays a part in the business, and I recognize and acknowledge that, no. But I still don't want people to feel like they don't know who I am because I'm not posting like consistently every single day.
Yeah.
And for me, I have to find a way how to do that to make it work for me where it's genuine, because I don't want to do it because I'm supposed to. It still has to, I feel people see straight through that.
Well, it boils down to not just posting but what you post. Because if Nikita sings, just post Nikita singing.
Yeah.
You don't gotta post your personal life. You don't gotta post like, well, I ate this today. You know what I mean? Like, just post singing, and there are going to be a community that just want that.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Today. Just trying to figure out how, and I mean, I wish I had, you know, it written down or laid out to a T where I could say, well, this is what I'm doing now, and I know it's going to work out perfectly, because I am genuinely still figuring that out, and it in a way where it will be a reintroduction of Nikita, or a different way of showing you who I truly am. Because working on radio, you dive in 100%. You share who you are
on radio.
Through your personality. You talk about things. So then I would have thought that I would have done that already.
Right.
So me doing it on social media was almost like I would have had to like copy and then paste some things, because I feel like I'm doing so much on air, only to realize that people actually don't know and have never heard.
Can that just be a distribution problem, meaning that you already have the content when you're doing it on air, and you just kind of multi-purpose that content and just distribute it in different channels? Because not everyone is going to lock into the show. They're not going to lock in the same time that you're on. There's a lot of variables. So I don't know. Maybe
no, that's exactly it. It's just me discovering all of that now, and just being super honest with you about it all. And because it is a huge insecurity for me, and a challenge in itself, because I do get in my head, there's so many stuff that is drafted in my Instagram archive that I would draft out down to the caption, down to the scheduling, and cancel it, because then I'm like, do I really want to?
Right. So you would
it's fair.
So you would like go to actually post it, but then you will hold back because
so many times. Because that fear of rejection is still very real for me. Over that same 2 decades, I've received so many no's. Even before I decided to do soca, I was auditioning. I thought it was gonna be next Rihanna.
Right.
You know, and it wasn't because I wasn't in the same room as these A&Rs or people that can make that happen.
Right.
Those auditions definitely happen, and this is from Broadway to record labels to all kind of different things, because I was so sure that I had this voice. You could use me as a blank canvas and paint whatever image or work on that side I felt was easier. And then you grow up in the American Idols and the Britain's Got Talent kind of voice. kind of competitions, X Factor. And I just felt like it was going to be me next. You see everybody getting signed after that. It was Chantel, Vita, Livy, J. Cole. Like, it's just how everybody just going down the line. In 1 year, I think there were 3 of them that got signed.
Yeah.
I was in those auditions.
Right.
You know, like, and you walk away with a positive kind of feedback, but then you don't hear from them. Or if you do, it's more of, you know, you have the voice, but she has the look. Right. Some would be as frank as, your skin is too dark. They're looking more for the green-eyed kind of, like, they will be that honest. So after a while, it gets to you.
Yeah.
And I gave up completely at one point. And I just wanted to go to Trinidad and release and just enjoy Carnival. And then I end up recording vocals for my child. And then he ended up hearing me sing Diamonds. Big up Darian Bailey, whom I randomly just listen to. But you know, when Darian talk, is gotta listen.
Yeah.
I respond. Just do. And he was just fooling around backstage. He started playing Diamonds. And he was like, Nikki, sing this here. I started singing it. And my show was like, all right, I want to see the studio. I got some vocals that I want you putting on, some background vocals. And then that one song became like 20 something songs.
Wow.
Over the next 3 years. Haunted happened. Then I met other artists like when Kess, Naila, Patrice, and then we're like Green. And you develop a love for soca.
Right.
You also come to the point where you're like, I've always loved soca.
Sorry, go back with the Marshall part.
Yeah, I know.
Was it writing and singing, or
it was the entire process?
Okay.
At least witnessing it. But my job was singing background vocals on print, in studio.
In studio.
So there are a lot of songs that some released, some, you know, kept. So I spent a lot of time in studios, like overnight in studios, recording 5-6 songs a night.
What was your emotion around that time? Did you felt like you were settling, or you felt like you felt like you belonged in that moment?
I knew it was still singing at the end of the day, and I mean, it was up there for a long period of time. So, you know, you were being compensated for it, and it was working. I loved just being around it, seeing the creative process. Around these songs, these big songs, watching him perform. I always tell people I learned so much more from him off stage than on stage, and how things work and how he gets what he, you know, the success that he has. And after Haunted, I felt like I could have a little chunk of that if I used my experience and brought it home. And he literally told me, you need to conquer home. And it almost was like a send-off kind of blessing. Him feeling that I was ready to go and do this on my own. And because I developed relationships with the producers there and the writers there, Tequila happened with Bubba. When Gal, you know, was my second song, I believe. And then a year after that, Slam happened.
Got it. Got it.
So yeah, that's legit how that started for me. And I mean, I haven't stopped singing R&B.
Right.
Not originally.
Because you
like, not original.
You started with R&B.
Definitely, it's Nikki Nicole. But then that back-to-back rejection was not easy to process at that time, especially when they hit on things that you cannot change.
Like your skin color.
Like my skin color, you know. And that's something I don't even think I've ever said out loud, to be honest.
Got it, yeah.
But
these is things
this is
that
real,
people
yeah.
go through.
Yeah.
Like you have a talent, you have a dream, you want to do it as work, but you're faced with that type of rejection because of an appearance or a skin color or your eyes not green. Like,
and especially, I just felt blindsided. I was confused because I just grew up thinking that all I needed was this like curated and you know, obviously you would have worked on it, you would have developed it.
Yeah.
This talent is not like you just start singing, but you know, they could see that you have vocal control. You could sing in key. You could deliver and execute an amazing vocal, and that was enough, and that would have been enough. But far from.
Okay, but do you think now that where you stand and the success you had from like Tequila and all the other songs you did after that, is there any truth in your head or anything in your head that still tell you that you're not enough?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Do you think that the people who you would have perceived as the people, I guess the gatekeepers or the people who could have provided, do you think the public would think how they think?
I guess I'll never know.
So you don't, how you think about it now?
It's hard to answer it the way how I feel like everybody wants me to answer it, because I mean, to this day, at the start of Crop Over the season, nobody goes into the studio, record a song, and leave and say, yeah, that was beer junk.
Right.
Everybody's left, every single artist, even the producer, everybody's feel like they left the studio with the hit.
A banger.
With the banger. The banger.
Yeah.
For the season.
Yeah.
And for me, especially this time around, instead of just singing what was sent, because I'm a chameleon and I could sing whatever. You tell me to sing blah, 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 sheep on bashment, I'm going to do that. You know, I made sure I was super intentional on being a part of every single step of the process.
Right.
From the time the songs come, if I could change a line, if I could change a melody, if I could add something, what type of production I want, what type of messaging, the artwork, like every single step. And I wanted to do it that way so that I don't even give myself the excuse of, if I had put the time and effort into really focusing on it all,
right,
then what could be the excuse? What would be the reason that this isn't something that people would respond well or positively to?
Right.
So I just come to the conclusion where people can like what they like.
Right.
You know, I focus on making sure that what I produce and create is so true to me.
Right.
So from the demo, I went straight to stage in my mind of how I'm going to perform this, what I can see people loving or not loving, what I want to feel when I'm performing it. And for me, if I'm good with that, and that is enough.
Right. And I am just hearing, I mean, I'm sorry that you had to go through the process of hearing them things. And to me, it almost looked like people don't see artists as human beings, first of all. Like,
because it is a business.
It's a business, but you're still, you're like, it's a human being still, right? And I think, no, right? That we fast forward, I think that with technology and social media, yes, there's disadvantages to these things, but there are also advantages. And it puts you direct contact with your people, with your tribe, so that you don't necessarily need to go through these gatekeepers or people that can tell you, no, we are looking for this and looking for that. I think that if you do what you do it well, you stay true to who you are and connect to who want to hear you, then that's what matters. That's how, I mean, it could be
that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
That's exactly,
so
because I can't. So interesting that you said that, because my devotions today was exactly that. Step into your power.
Yeah, that's as you speak and I hear it, and the times that we're in now, it's like, nah, it's time artists and creators just take about their power. Tear down the gatekeep. There's no more gatekeeping.
And there was a time before that where I would have felt a way even saying that out loud, because that's who Nikita is.
Right.
She never wanted. I'm not that person that want people to feel like I better than anybody, and you have the pressure or the everybody saying her. Well, growing up was that's Karen, they caught niece, and James, he caught niece, and she, so you had this thing around you that unknown to you that people were intimidated by, even though I'm coming in on your level, on the same stage, probably at the same stage, and starting at the start point in the same way, and not realizing that I could step into that, embrace it, and then just shine and go from there. Because I have it tattooed on my skin. Like, I choose love. Like, I am a very real, normal, genuine person. I pride myself on saying I could be your sister, you neighbor, you daughter, you. I love that I can be accessible. Like, in the supermarket, people could tap me on my shoulder and be like, "Nikita, what's going on?" And I love that.
Yeah.
Even with my friends, I've had the same 3 friends for the last 20 years. And that's probably because everybody else around me could still be close enough to be like I could call them my friend too, my acquaintance and chosen family, but I move from love,
right,
every time, and it goes back to me not choosing myself over everything. Like, it's not about me.
Yeah, and you gotta choose love.
Choose love every time.
Choose love.
It's a choice.
And I was thinking that maybe success is not what we would have envisioned. So where you see the mainstream artists and this and that, maybe what if I had to say that there's a bigger plan for you? What if that is a small plan and you are being redirected to a greater purpose? Because you have the talent, you have the voice, you have the humility, you have the qualities, the personality, everything. What if you were just made to be somewhere else and not that, but this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the this that I'm trying to figure out, because I never knew that I would have loved radio as much as I did.
Right.
Like, I was literally supposed to be there for 3 months until they found a replacement for Envy. Hey, Envy.
Big up.
And they never did. 10 years later.
10 years.
I am still there. And not because I didn't want to and to confine nobody, but genuinely, I had a passion for not just being able to wear that hat. Because I love saying that I was a singer, broadcaster, this person in media that did not see that coming at all. But it's the connection to people.
Right.
I loved hearing about people's stories. Like, people will come, like a service provider, to come telling me about their top-up special. And within the interview, something personal just like happened to,
maybe that's your purpose. Maybe that's your purpose. Because your
it's weird.
Rejections redirected you to discover new passions that you probably would have never discovered if you just had kept on that path that you only had as your desire at that point in that moment.
Right.
That making sense?
Yes, because in the pivots, I would have discovered passions that I did not know were there. So even the move in Trinidad and that pivot to soca, found a passion there. Then coming back here and that pivot to radio, found a passion there.
All right, so you bring out radio so much times
because it's so fresh and I love them.
So let me go into that.
Let's do it.
Wait, but
Okay, all right, fine.
So so you get into radio and you realize this is me. I love this spot here, and you did it for 10 years.
Yeah, 9 some.
9 and some, right? What have you learned about yourself? I don't know what you said before.
Yeah.
What stand out the most about yourself in those 10 years that you're on radio? Well, on radio.
There's honestly so many. I didn't know that I would love reading a script. You know, I didn't know that I would have enjoyed hearing about people's challenges and helping them find solutions while speaking to myself. While I'm telling them about what I should do, I'm talking to myself too. And I used to say that all the time. Like, I'm saying this to you and I'm saying it to myself. In a weird way, it's been therapy. It's been what I needed for my heart, for my soul, especially at that time, to feel like I am doing something right. Like I have purpose. Like I took on that challenge and I ran with it and it's working out. I needed at that point to feel like something is working. Anything that I go after is working and feel good about it. The relationships that I form within the Islamily, outside of the Islamily, it made me a better person. And then in extent, wife, mom, friend, artist. I developed a huge respect for DJs. Huge. And it showed me angles to the industry on a whole that I would have never known without that position. Like, even now, putting out songs, like I weigh everybody's perspective on that one thing, from the promoters to the people, to the artists, to the DJ.
Yeah.
Like I hear and I see, I get it,
So you
from
develop
all
like
sides.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so it's I was scared going in, obviously, because you don't know if what and who you are will be received well. People latch on to things like my laugh and the fact that I never really switch up, you know, the accents. And I tried at first. I was like, maybe I need to sound like this. And then after a while, I can keep it up. So I just revert to just who I am.
Right.
And I realized that, you know, people just like the fact that I was being me.
Right.
Like, authentically, I showed up as me every time.
And you would have been like an artist where you were known, right? How that felt? Did you have anyone saying to you, nah, you should be on radio, you're the artist?
It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Right. You have people actually saying that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Some people felt like it was like a cheat code to, you know, get my music out there and played more. And when it was never that, like I fall into something that I never saw coming. And it just so happened that it felt so right for me to be doing at the time. And I loved it. Genuinely loved radio.
Okay.
Genuinely.
Is that love past tense or still like?
I would say maybe not in that capacity.
Right.
But there's something that I feel can still happen from it. You know, like the Kelly Clarkson show, like the Nikita show, you know, where things, that element can still play a part, but in like a full thing. I have not figured it out yet, guys. But I don't think that experience on radio would have been done in vain to the point where some aspect of it doesn't continue.
So it sounds to me like a lot of great things happen on radio.
A lot.
Why the decision to walk away?
It was so difficult. It was not an immediate decision, anything irrational. If I'm being honest, probably like 2 years of, should I do it now? Should I do it now? Should I do it now? Okay, do it now. No, not yet. Not right now. Maybe next year. And Trinidad Carnival happened this year. And I reconnected with a lot of the artists because I haven't been to Carnival in 6 years, you know, pre-kids and all.
Yeah.
And I went back and I had some conversations with some people that I was close to up there, and conversations got super personal and deep. And I just recognized that I never really gave the artistry 100%.
Right.
Time, effort, or just the chance. I never really dug deep enough to focus on it on the whole,
Right.
on everything.
So you felt like maybe you kind of not give up, but you just never really put 100% in, so you want to give it that chance.
Yeah.
And you think radio was getting in the way of that.
Because I'm a mom. I do the drop-offs in the morning, and then after the drop-offs I go straight to radio, and then when I'm done my shift I go straight to pick up, and then come home, and then it's cooking and cleaning and getting them to sleep, and then I may have to sing later at Hilton, and then I come back home, I sleep, and I wake up and I do it again.
Right.
So there's no time by myself, even if it's just a journal, even if it's just to listen to beats, even if it's just to see if I could feel any melodies or lyrics coming that I want to put into a song, or figure out my next 4 weeks, and that is why I would have just sung what was said, because I didn't have the time to really focus on
it. So you just
and see what it is I want.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a day of Nikita. It was literally drop off to school, go to work, do your shift on Slam. Then it was time for
pick up, extracurricular activities, get them home, bathe, cook, clean, get them in bed, and I get probably an hour to just scroll and just clear my mind a little bit, or run on the spot in the house, bathe, go sleep, and do it again.
Okay. At any point, did you... you said that you were going through this thought for years. So is this like a 5-year thought or 3 years?
I always... Because, again, it was supposed to be 3 months. So then, you get to year 3. And you say, okay, you know what? I actually like this. This is not too bad. I'm about to get married. Oh, no. I'm pregnant. Oh, no. COVID. I'm pregnant again. So I'm just moving on, and just...
You're being a human being.
Exactly. Lifed in every way. Yeah. And within that time, you're like, okay, well, now the responsibilities have increased tremendously.
Yeah.
And I can't just think about me anymore, for sure.
Yeah.
And you look and see what a future, what's more of a real future here. Is it really the music? Is it radio? Is it something that I need to mature into and just go along on this side? But then I see somebody perform, or I perform, and that spark legit just it's like there. It could be in front of 2 people or nobody.
Right.
But when I was 5, 6, 7 years old, singing One Moment in Time, that level of, oh my goodness, comes back every single time. I cannot let it go.
You can't shake it off.
I can't. And there were times when I prayed to not have that anymore.
Really?
Yes. There were so many times I prayed and I say, please, I don't want this feeling, because it's not working.
It's not working. And you felt like it was less leading you down a road that was just stuck. Stuck
and just almost unrealistic, clearly.
Right.
Why do I have this feeling if it's not happening? Stop giving me this.
Well, it was given to you for a reason.
I know. So now what is different now that I have this time to focus on me?
Right.
Is one, choosing to step into that power that I always had. And I forever just dumb down and dim down to let everybody else shine. And 2, to embrace it and find my purpose.
Being a mother redefines success for you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. It's the little things. And those boys are my little things in life. They are literally my pride and joy. My mom used to tell me and my brother so all the time, and I just brush it off like, yeah, whatever. Best thing I ever do. If I am being very real.
And it changed you as an artist too.
Yeah, and you really start to focus on what truly is important in life. Like, and they show you it. And it could be something as simple as yesterday he wasn't riding his scooter as good as he's riding it right now, and I'm so proud of him because he took that chance. And they look at you, they look back at you like, you're so amazing, mommy. You made my favorite thing, and you're doing these things thinking that it's nothing, but to them it's everything. I was down. And mommy took me to the beach and I'm feeling better. You could just watch them. They don't even have to tell you that. But you see the mood change.
Right.
You start to live life through their eyes and appreciate. You appreciate life on a whole. So it's changed me as a person. And then as an artist in the way where there will come a time when they look at me telling me their dreams.
Yeah.
And the things that they want to do. And it seems so impossible, mommy. What do I do? Do I let it go and do what's comfortable and settle for the bare minimum? Or do I challenge myself and choose to do the hard thing?
Yes.
Do it scared.
Very scared.
But do it anyway.
Yeah.
That was the ultimate reason, or the last straw, in making that bold decision, because I have to be an example of that.
Okay, I'm gonna let you get away with that reason.
It's the ultimate. I'm telling you. I can't tell them do it, and I did it.
So I hear a lot about you pouring out into others, even the people you work with, the people that you would serve on radio when you were there, your kids. Who pours into Nikita?
I have a very supportive husband. If I'm being very real, he lives behind the scenes because that's just who he is. If he ever come up front, though, those that know him will know that he's present because he has that personality. He's been around from the beginning.
Right.
I met him when I was 12, 13. At church, our grandparents were friends. His family know my family. Like, we are intertwined. So he knows this dream probably more than anybody else. He knows of all the ups and downs, the turns, the pivots, the this. He is the person I vent to. Because just like Kim would have said about choosing your village and being honest about what you're going through. Like, she was screaming through that camera at me. I messaged her immediately. I was like, all right. Because that's something that I just don't do.
Yeah.
I don't want people to know I'm struggling. I don't want people to feel like I don't have it figured out. I don't want my friends to know that. But they end up knowing anyway because they are my friends.
Right.
But I had such a big family that I didn't need to tell anybody. So I will vent to my mom, my dad, my brother, and my husband.
So you got that support.
They know. They really know.
Right.
And he's great at, he's super logical. I'm not. I am all over the place.
Well,
I give you all.
You are creative and
he's the yin to my yang.
Yeah.
For sure. And that's important. In finding a partner that just gets it and gets you.
It's a balance.
It's a balance for sure. So that's, yeah. My family as well. The Licot family is huge, and it's a huge spiritual family.
Yeah.
We do devotions every day. somebody send something, some scripture, something. I've had a aunt, may she rest in peace, that used to dream a fish and somebody was pregnant like the next day.
Oh, wow.
You know, she was like, guys, I dream, and I don't mean of, you know, the fish in the sea down Bay Street, you know. I mean like cooked fish. Like she would, is weird. Some price snapper. And every single time somebody would be
She just prophesying somebody's pregnancy.
I don't know this gift that she had, guys. It was weird and it was true.
Right.
Like, right true. But yeah, they just believe heavily in prayer. I believe heavily in prayer as well. So when I'm truly struggling and I need that voice of reason, my chosen family, my sisters, Leah, Kim, Joe, Naomi, I call them up and message them. It don't be very often. But I know when they do, they truly pour into my soul. After getting some lashes and scolding for not telling them earlier.
Right.
My husband, he has to hear my venting. He has no choice.
That's his job.
So sometimes even my kids, my mom, my dad for sure, my brother. Yeah, and the ones really close to me. And I have even stronger bonds with like DMZ and Salt, you know, during the day. I would just say, you won't believe that this happened. He's like, yeah, B. And then, like, that's what I miss most.
Right, right.
Those relationships there. But, you know, they can't get rid of me, so they can see me anyway.
Got you. So you had to do a little bit, well, not a little bit, a lot of healing out to the spotlight that people then had a clue. Like the public, they had a clue what you were going through.
And that's part of it. This is part of the reason why I can't just post. Because there's fear in posting the real stuff that I am going through. Like, if y'all really know what's going on, that I too have been going through anxiety and depression. Right. And I too still trying to figure this thing out. I'm also, you know, trying to balance mom, wife, singer. Like, a lot of people are not okay, Matthew. A lot of people are not okay. And sometimes I realize in my one-on-one conversations that aren't filmed and posted that sometimes people just want to feel seen and heard.
Yeah.
Especially when I was pregnant. I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me that this is happening? Why did anybody say that? You know, like, there's so many things I wish was normalized and just talked about. You know, granted, some people get pregnant and they have an amazing journey, but then got some people be sick every day. And, you know, like, it's an immediate sacrifice. You go cold turkey on alcohol. You go cold turkey on all these different things. You choose to sacrifice everything that is you, your lifestyle, what was normal for you for this thing in your belly for 10 months. And then even beyond that, you go through the breastfeeding and, you know, you're responsible for this really delicate thing. And then they grow up and now they're walking and they're falling and they have cuts and bruises and colds, and it's a lot. And sometimes you're just expected to just know how to deal with that.
Right. Well, everybody online makes it look like it's fabulous. Life is good.
And then you don't want to complain because then they're going to look like you're ungrateful. Yeah. And so it's just, there was a lot that I had and I still deal with internally. So I'm still in that healing process. And that's why I would have answered your first question as, you know, I want to say I am okay. I feel like I have to say I am okay.
Right.
But not entirely.
Not entirely.
I'm still figuring it out.
Is there a part of yourself that you're still trying to forgive?
And now that you say it that way, maybe that is what I'm trying to do.
Right.
Because I've been really hard on myself. I really believed all that was said to me was true. I believed it and lived accordingly, chose accordingly. I was like, okay, I can't take any more no's. That's it.
Right. So today we're going to burn them lies. Because they're lies.
Yeah.
So we can burn those. They no longer exist.
Yes. Because I
Leave them
yeah.
here.
Done talking about it. Done feeling about it. You know, like I do want to get to that place where I move on from that and just embrace where I'm at now, because I genuinely appreciate everybody that would tell me this song meant so much to them and this song got them through this, and they just love to see me perform and sing. And even comments like that I would just brush off sometimes because you don't want to be too powerful foolish with it. But now I really take it to heart, like with the comments from me leaving radio and people saying that they're gonna miss me and they loved hearing me every day. And these are all things I didn't know. I was just hoping that what I'm doing was, good enough.
Right. You have 2 kids.
Two boys.
2 boys. If there's one thing that you would want them to remember about you always, what would that be?
Mommy never gave up. Mommy never gave up. Because they see me cry.
Right.
They see me get angry. They see me get they see every part of me, and they still love me. Like things that I will hold back from everybody else, they see it. And I mean, even in the most heated argument or disappointment that they will feel for me, they still want to hug me and be close and, get kisses and laugh and play. And that level of just acceptance or just unconditional love is something that I'll cherish forever. And I hope that that they remember that Mommy will always be there. Mommy got my back right through. There was nothing that they would have ever go through that Mommy wasn't there to just see them through.
Got it.
I want them to see Mommy win as well. Daddy's get to come home and talk about his amazing surgeries and how he do this and that. And so I try to take them to the rehearsals and see Mommy on stage, and I see a little flicker in their eye when they say, "My mommy's a singer, Dodo." And I just want them to see that they know that it was hard, clearly, but Mommy never gave up. I think that's the biggest thing.
So because of your personality type and what you're feeling, I feel like you often dim your light to make others comfortable. So I think on this next move, you gotta put the light up. Don't dim it. Yeah. It's all or nothing.
All or nothing. Yeah.
Take back your power, Nikita.
I will. I'm getting there. I'm getting there to the point where there's no more fear.
Correct.
Like I say, it's a healing process that I'm going through right now, and what fuels me, especially as a female artist, is the vision and mission I have for La Femme. And I believe in that a lot. I believe that could be part of my legacy in doing for others what I wish I had in every aspect, in support, emotionally, in every way. You will say that you had that opportunity to perform and feel that female empowerment and huddle. It's almost like a huddle. Like what I'm tired of is it being, if we're 25 females, everybody at the track, and we trying to run we own individual race. Yeah. I want us to huddle like this. Grab our arms together and run this race together. And we will be a force to reckon with together.
I 100% agree. I support that message.
And it's unnecessary to do it alone.
It is.
It is so unnecessary.
Yeah.
All the drama, don't allow them to pin us against each other.
Yeah.
That's what they want. Whoever they are, that's what they want. They want us to fight. Yeah, they do. Literally. You know, like, so with La Femme, it started because even though I was one of the token few, or, you know, that was chosen to perform on this lineup of a big show, and they only got 3 girls against 25 men, even though I was one of the few, I said, no way. Last year at La Femme, we had 21 girls. 21.
Wow.
21 girls, including the vets, Alison Hines, Natalie, and TC.
Yeah. That's big.
And it was never about me there. Mm-hmm. It was more than just a showcase. It was, see, we got so much more to offer. Indie bashment, indie suite. What you want? What else you want? You want female DJ? Because look, she here. It was an all-female band. Drums, bass, guitar, keys.
I don't feel that this was talked about enough, though.
Telling you.
Right. We got to talk about these things a lot more.
Yeah, because that was a whole nother conversation.
We're
because
talking about all sorts of other things that don't serve us in any way.
No.
Yeah, that's a big one. I'm happy you did that. You're doing well.
I'm doing it again. It's not easy because, you know, financial support is rough. It's hard to convince people to believe in women. That's as real as it gets. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to give up. Even if it means that it has to come out of my pocket. Mm-hmm. Initially, we're on year 4 now, but I can push through because I believe in the girls. We deserve to shine too. You know, we've been the source. We've been the source. Like, you sing about us. You know what I mean? Like, you don't be out there singing about men. You sing about girls. We've been the source, the inspiration, the reason, and then we create and produce that too. You got Faith Bay in the studio and doing her own thing.
Yeah.
We have female producers as well.
Yeah.
Quality musicians that work every day, every night. Singers work. Stylists, like writers. You name it. We are there and we've been there. And it's time that it's not just highlighted or acknowledged and say, yeah, that happened. But for us to soar. Mm-hmm. And that is the mission and vision in La Femme.
All right, then. Well, there we go.
Let's go.
You already know what to do. I think you do have it figured out.
Yeah.
You do have it figured out. And I think, you know, God put that talent on you, give you the vision. And I think let's take it one day at a time.
Right.
Just one day at a time. It'll be okay. Be okay. So we went deep.
We did. So deep.
So we can try now to bring the viewers and the listeners a little back up.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys.
No, you good.
Okay.
You good.
All right,
You good.
okay.
Because that's important. That's important. But, you know, it's also important when you carry the people down,
Yeah.
you know, a little dark.
I know nobody saw that coming. I've hit a lot.
You gotta bring them back up for ear, right?
Yeah.
I can go back into your music a little bit.
Yeah.
Your style of music, right? If it had a flavor, what would it taste like?
Wow. It's like back at American Idol when they asked Paula Abdul was like, when you sing, I see yellow.
No, I gotta take something to bring us back there, right?
It's like,
yeah.
Well, you know, he's a bibber. I love beer. I don't like tequila. I just sing the song. Hit tequila. But I love rum. There's a sweetness to it, but still it's a bold, it's unique. It has a bite that's unassuming. And
A little kick, yeah.
and that depth. And of course, they're talking about brown rum. Brown rum for sure. And you gotta savor it to taste all the ingredients.
I like that. Well, we gotta get you a rum deal now.
I've been saying I'm a rum queen. Those that know me know I like rum bad. Bad.
What is one song that would describe how you're feeling right now? Could be your song or it could be someone else's song.
'Cause you see people, they don't really know you. That's now telling you.
Who is one Caribbean artist you would love to collab with?
How much time do we have? When you say one?
Yeah, just choose one. Who's the first one that come to your mind? Let's go.
Patrice is a dream.
Patrice.
Love cast, love voice. Sorry. All right, done. But that's my top 3.
What is one ritual or method or what do you do before like a studio session or a performance?
Recently run. I run 2 miles around the garrison.
You just run and then you're going to record?
Yes, literally. Or do like 20 jump squats, pop squats, something. Like I need to, it's weird. I need to raise my heart rate to calm down.
What?
It's weird. I feel like I just need to like sweat out that nervous energy. Like that. Just like get rid of that nervous.
To calm down. Just gotta get your heart rate up to calm down.
To enter that zone. You know, some people call it a runner's high where you just float. So it's like that high that I need to be in to really do what I'm supposed to do.
All right.
It's weird.
I want you to finish this sentence. Right now, I just want to, I know, tell me run.
I run already, man. I guess so.
Right now, I just want to
live in my purpose.
Good. All right. So I got a bag of gems here.
Yeah.
That my community would have wrote in for you guys, for the guests. So I can do this little lucky dip.
I am so fangirling right now because I know what this is within the episode. And I'm just like, I get to do it now.
I appreciate you so much. All right. So whoever you pull, I want you to read it out loud and hopefully their names should be tagged on it.
Okay. So you want me to say who it's from?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, Jess Marshall. They're saying whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. It's basically a testament to the power of belief. Trust that all the answers are within you. Oh my goodness, Jess. Oof. That was great. And just
that's for you to take.
Okay, because I like want to scrap, but this.
No, yeah. You could
put it on my board.
Your fridge, your board, whatever.
Totally.
And that's from Jess. Big up Jess.
Yeah, boy, love that.
If you could send one message to your younger self, or maybe another Beijing girl dreaming, what would it be? What would you tell her?
You are enough.
You are enough.
You are enough, despite what they say. You are enough.
Love it. So before we land the plane, what's next?
Literally, just like family time right now, because that's important to me, to be present for them every single day, all the time, no matter what. Legit family first. But I'm excited because I got some more releases coming your way for Crop Over.
Nice.
Some very unexpected songs in terms of tempo and genre. Then I can't wait to perform. Like I want to get up on the stage. You know, I've been indie dance. Soca State of Mind is start Crop Over for me. Period.
Got it.
That's where I truly feel the energy from the true soca lovers. I would a feeling, how was the tone of the festival.
That's why it's probably called Soca State of Mind.
Yes, legit.
State of mind.
it does, and in the most genuine way, it's the best crowd to perform or be around. And then experience the culture too, because I love to take my boys to Bridgetown Market and the Sweet Limes and go to the tent with my daddy and just do everything that crop over has to offer, because I genuinely love crop over. Like, I love it. Favorite time of year. Favorite. On or off the stage.
Well, I wish you luck.
Thank you.
And I see you as a superstar in my eyes. So I thank you for taking the time and coming to grace us with your presence.
Really honored to be here.
And thanks for watching.
Right?
Like,
I can watch the next episode too. I'd be like them too, wondering who's the next guest. I saw your story and I was like, oh, that's me. I know I tell nobody. I'm not gonna tell nobody.
Yeah. All right. So that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Cut.
Yay.
That was good.
It was what?
This project is made possible in part by the Cultural Industries Development Fund of the National Cultural Foundation of Barbados.